Hey guys, so I'm going to go over the workbook pages with you from yesterday, and then we're going to do a little more work with surface area today. So here is my workbook, and I'm just going to go over the answers quickly for you to check. You should have your workbook and be checking these. Hopefully you got 150 inches squared for the first one, then 864 inches squared, then 1,944 centimeters squared. All right, all of these we found the same way by finding the surface of 1. 18 by 18 would be 1 square, and then multiplying it by 6 because all the faces of a cube are the same. All right, for number 4 and 5, you can see my work here. I did 6 times 12, and I got 72. And I doubled it, 72, and 72 gives me 144. And then I did 12 by 15 and got 180 and doubled it, which equals 360. And then I did 6 by 15, which is 90, multiplied by 2, and that gets you 180. One other surface area formula for rectangular prisms is twice the length times the width plus twice the length times the height plus twice the width times the height. That's similar to the formula I mentioned to some of you yesterday in terms of double the front and the back, or double the front, double the side, and double the top and the bottom. I'm not huge on formulas when it comes to surface area just because surface areas are about finding the area of the surfaces, but any way that it helps you to stay better organized, the better. Number 5 is 8 by 12 is 96. That's one side, so double that and get 192. The bottom, actually what did I do next? The next one I did, it was the bottom, 8 times 19. And I got 152, and I doubled it to get 304. And then 19 times 12 is the front. Double that to get 456. Add it all up, 952 square meters for number 5. Number 6 we talked a lot about, so I'm not going to take much time, but here's my work. Reminder that it's 1,870. Drawing the shapes out can be very helpful. 2 triangles, 3 rectangles. 2 of the rectangles were the same, which helps. And the triangles, of course, were the same. And then for 7, I put the areas just right inside. If you had some difficulty figuring out what the dimensions are of this rectangle, remember that opposite sides are equal, so this has to be 10, and this must be 15. So 10 by 15 is 150. Notice that the opposite faces, if I folded this together, are still equal to each other because it's a prism. 120, 120, 80, 80, so 70 square inches is the answer. All right, looking at your textbook now. You can put your workbook away, and let's go through the textbook a little bit, and we're going to do some practice. Hopefully, now that we've talked about surface area, a lot of this is going to be familiar to you. If a wooden box is painted red all over, the total area painted red would be the surface area of the box. Lots of times ERBs and Mr. Nori, who does clever math problems, likes to talk about painted shapes when it comes to surface area. Superstar problems also oftentimes will do that. Here's a cube. Here's an example of it flattening out, making the cube net. And we could find the surface area that way. Each of these are 16, so I'd do 16 6 times. Another one, similar problem, a cube that's 5 by 5 by 5. You can picture the net and recognize that it's 6 squares and add those up. Similarly, for a rectangular prism, if you drew out the net, this is a nice model representation with color here. It shows you these two are going to be the same, these two are going to be the same, and these two. excuse me, are the same, so that can help you with finding the surface area. Again, it's the side doubled, front doubled, bottom doubled. All right. Another guided learning example. You can definitely take more time to look at this carefully. And then it talks about triangular prisms, which was like the one we practiced yesterday. We've got 2 triangles and then 3 rectangles. These are all different sizes because each of the sides of the triangle is a different size. And it shows you how to find the surface area of that. And guides you through an example of, a triangular prism. Okay, so you are going to do the Let's Practice for today, which starts on the bottom of page 283. You need to do this on a separate piece of paper and show your work. Please work neatly so I can read it, because you are going to take a picture of this one. Number 1 is just a cube, which will be an easier one to find. There's not a lot of problems, but as we talked about, each problem has a lot of steps to it. So number 2 is going to take you multiple steps, and you're going to have to do it carefully if you want to get the correct answer. So let's see how many of you can get each of these correct. We have a triangular prism, and then we have a few questions that get you thinking a little bit with some word problems. So that is your assignment for today, and I will see you next time.